Hello. Welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 378. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk. What's up?
What's up?
Why are you staring at me?
Because you're the co-host.
I am the co-host.
Looking to you for answers.
Of what to talk about today?
Sure.
Um,
Finished the Avatar, The Last Airbender. It is my fourth time watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. It is the best time. It's the best.
It is really good.
I watched it for the fourth time, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I loved it more than before.
Mm-hmm. We watched the live action.
Yeah.
And that was
pretty good. It was all right. It was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But we finished it and we're like, yeah, let's put the OG on and just crushed it.
It's so funny how many times we've watched it and you can still forget about things happening.
So many things, dude. So many things. They do the second to last episode is kind of like a recap of all the shit they've been through over the 3 years or the 3 seasons. Sorry, it's all over 1 year. But it's like, whoa. Because we pretty much started it the week before baby came.
Yeah.
We started the week before baby. So in like 4 weeks, we knocked it out in 4 weeks. And in that 4 week span, I'm like, oh, I forgot about a bunch of this shit.
Yeah. And then what did we notice? There's a part that they fucked up.
Yeah. Katara's mom.
Yes.
How Katara's mom died and how what her role in that is different from the first season to the third season. Drastically different. And it's like, how'd you fuck that up?
Right. Especially because you already had that scene done. So why wouldn't you have...
could have just hit play on that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, super interesting. Big hole of the story.
So now we're starting The Legend of Korra.
Oh, dude. Let's fucking go.
Which we've only watched that one once through.
Uh-huh.
And already, watching the beginning, I was like, I don't remember this.
Right, same. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. That stuff's fun. Let me see here. So we got that.
Hold on real quick. So I think, thinking about it now, so, now we can watch on Netflix in order. Growing up as a kid, I definitely did not watch it in order, obviously. I just watched whatever episodes were on.
Do you know what I did?
What?
I was an early goer to Netflix. I think because I started getting the DVDs from Netflix sent to me probably around when did that start? Because I'm thinking I probably started getting DVDs around maybe 08.
I was gonna say I definitely remember it when I was in school still. Oh, so you got the Avatar DVDs and watched it in order?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. Were you a Sunday cartoon kid? Saturday cartoon? Okay. I wasn't sure if you were too young for that.
No, I'd get up early on Saturday so I could get in and watch Scooby. I didn't set alarms on the weekends. I would just get up early so I could watch Scooby-Doo. But sometimes I'd miss Scooby-Doo because I think Scooby-Doo is 6:30 to 7. And sometimes I'd miss it because I'd wake up at 7 and I'd go and I'd be like, fuck.
Be so mad.
So pissed, dude. I don't remember what night. There was one night too when Dragon Ball Z would be on at 9:30.
Yeah.
And I didn't like staying up that late as a kid because I've always loved sleep. And I loved getting to bed early so I could wake up early.
But that one night a week you would stay up late?
Not all the time, but if the nights that I was able to stay up that late, it was like, yeah, let's fucking do it, dude.
Dude, that'd be kind of fun. Once our kids are older, be Saturday morning cartoons, and we play what we watched as kids. So the old school Scooby-Doo.
Bro, Netflix began renting DVDs by mail in March of 1998.
Dang.
So wow, dude. Wow.
When did Avatar come out? I'm impressed. I thought it was early 2000s, but I guess I didn't think it was like.
Dude, when did you said that? I just typed in Avatar T, and it fills in Last Airbender release date.
I don't like that they listen to
February 21st of 2005.
Dang, that's even earlier than I thought. So I would have only been 12.
Yeah, so when did Netflix start streaming?
Streaming? I was definitely in college.
07. Okay.
What?
So I wonder, this was to access content online. So, dude, I guess I don't know. I don't know if maybe Avatar was one of the first ones they got. Maybe I did that. But I remember when I was young, dude. I was young, so I had to be early, middle. I mean, I'm 6th grade, maybe even before that. I might have even been in 5th grade still. I remember getting Netflix DVDs in the mail. Because I used to get the Charmed seasons.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Ain't nothing like fucking Charmed. I'll tell you what, I've recently watched an episode. I saw it. I was somewhere and it was on TV.
Oh, and it was like a newer Charmed, I thought.
Well, I saw that too, but I'm not watching that shit. But the old one, I watched episode, the old one was like, man, this was very tacky. But back then, it was the best.
You watched so many like more adult shows than I did.
That was, yes.
Because didn't you watch Smallville too? Or no?
A little bit. I never really got into that much. I used to watch Angel.
Dang. Is that the guy from Bones?
Yeah.
Yep.
I never watched series of that, but I watched on TV a lot.
Yeah. I watched ER, surprisingly. And then The Office.
I watched Supernatural like it was going out of fucking style.
I didn't start that until we started dating.
I had already fucking ripped through it by the time we started dating.
Yeah, and you made me start from the beginning.
Holy shit, we did, didn't we?
Yes.
I've watched that season too many times.
There's
That series.
Convention in the cities in March, April, I don't remember. A supernatural convention. Have you seen it? Like all the actors will be there, they say, and there's like different packages you can get to like go to different Q&As and whatever.
But I don't know if I love it that much.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It seems cool. Like, it seems cool to go to. But it's also, like, something where I'm just like, is this, like, a scam? Like, is this real? But there's people in the comments that say, like, they went to, like, the previous ones or whatever, and that's super cool. Because, like, it's some company that does, like, a whole bunch of fan conventions.
Interesting. Super weird.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let me see here.
So yeah, I watched those, and then when the Chicago series came out, so like Chicago PD, Chicago
sure.
Fire.
Ooh, I watched Psych.
Yes, I did watch Psych a lot.
Psych was sick.
Oh, and White Collar and Suits, because I got you hooked on both of those.
I never watched Suits. I think I watched some episodes of White Collar. And then we watched like Hawaii Five-0.
There's another one similar to Psych. Monk. I watched a lot of Monk.
Wasn't a big fan of that.
Really? Interesting.
We did watch. It was. I remember it being on TV at the house, but I never really liked it. Cause he's the one that wore the gloves.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. That was gay.
Yeah. Good shit, dude. They don't come out with TV as much as.
They come out with way more TV shows now. It's just not how it used to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lost.
Like, not as good.
We have watched Lost.
Interesting.
I saw Lost was on Netflix, and I very am tempted to watch it.
I remember you watching, was it 300?
300?
Yeah.
I never finished it, though.
Well, I think wasn't it still coming out when we...
Yeah, it was, and I just quit watching it. I don't know, I'm interested. I don't know. Sometimes, like, man, I don't know.
I just watched a lot of movies, like, at one point, like... I'd rather just, like, watch a movie because I could put it on whenever, pause it, You know what I mean?
I watched Bad Boys 2 at least 100 times, maybe a couple hundred.
You prefer Bad Boys 2 over Bad Boys 1?
It is not even comparable.
Okay.
It is one of very few films or series where the sequel is better than the prequel. The very few.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 2, hands down, bar none. Ask PJ, ask Kyle, ask Craig. Just not even comparable.
Do you remember what I said my 3 movies were that I watched all the time in high school and college?
Stick It. Accepted.
Can you get the third one?
Stick It. Accepted. The third movie that you watched all the time. Give me. It was a comedy.
Yeah. The main character is a ginger.
Hold on. Easy A.
There you go.
Dude, I'm so fucking good,
I'm
dude.
impressed, actually.
I'm so fucking good.
I'm very impressed.
Oh, dude. Hey. Love. Love. What's my top 3 most watched movies?
Yours are like more series.
Yeah, but I'm saying the movie. Which one of the series?
So obviously Bad Boys 2.
Done.
Fast and Furious 1, I think.
Done. Too easy.
I'd say more recently you've been watching Harry Potter more. But I'm gonna guess probably Fast and the Furious 2.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And then probably Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And then it might be My Best Friend's Girl.
Interesting.
With Dane Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be it.
Another movie that I didn't watch as much as in high school, but in middle school and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm tempted to buy it off of Amazon, like the physical copies of it. The old school Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Ah, yes, very good.
Like the live action one?
Yeah.
The old school one.
Yeah.
I fucking loved
those. Were so good. Okay, dude, so get this, right? Today, because we've got Kyle started cleaning out the garage, and I have a problem where I can't throw stuff away.
And he's like, we're going to sell this, and then doesn't list it.
So I've got like boxes of VCRs.
Yeah.
And I said, we got another property. I'm like, there's some boxes of VCRs down there. And Brooke's like, you have to stop. You don't watch them. You have to stop. And I was like, but Adam needs them. Because I'm going to go treasure hunting with Adam this weekend probably. And and Brooke's like, no. And I was like, Reese, don't you want a VCR? She's like, what's that?
Oh, no.
I said, what do you mean? She's like, is that one of those things where you put it in there and press a button and it starts? And Brooke starts laughing. Brooke's like, that's a DVD player. She's like, what's a VCR? And I was like, I can't do this right now. I can't do that. Like, I can't do this. Bro, what?
Damn, dude.
That's the difference between 12.
Yeah, she's somewhere around there.
12? Holy fuck. So she was born like 2013?
Yeah.
Yo. You're like 3x her age.
Yeah. Thank you. Ouch. Not even.
All right, I'm sorry. You're a couple years off.
Do you realize people are having kids that were born after the first Shrek came out? The first Shrek came out in 2001.
You're saying, do you realize that people who were born after the first Shrek came out are now having kids?
Correct.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Isn't that?
And that's not even old. That's 23. That's not even. I was at the bar a couple days ago, and I saw 2004.
Oh yeah.
2004 for like the drinking age,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, dude, they're so fast at checking IDs now, like especially our IDs.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they just look for the 19 and they're like, "Yep, there you go."
Bonkers, dude. It's crazy. It's cool, man. So let's see here. Let's see. Avatar. That was a thing. What was
Yeah. So when we started dating, I had Bruce. My
Honda Accord.
Yeah, 1994, 3, something.
Yeah. Do you want another one?
Old school one like that?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that car.
Did you?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'd take one.
Manual?
No.
Please.
No.
I'll get you one if it's manual. It's a good car to learn on.
Let me think about it.
Okay. Do you know what's nice about those cars?
What?
They had like pretty good size V6s in them.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little bit of snort.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, keep going.
So in there, it obviously had a cassette player.
Right.
And my oldest sister, who's 18 years older than me, I had to give her a ride somewhere in that car. And she started making fun of me because it had a cassette player still. And she's like, I didn't know cars still had these.
Oh my God, dude.
Because she's always been has a car for 2-3 years and then trades it in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she's always had the newer cars or whatever. And I was like, wow, thanks. I'm a poor college student. What do you expect?
Mm-hmm. God, I love it, dude. I love it. I like me an old car a lot.
Dude, but you got to think the technology with those, so I had a cassette that had the cord, so I could plug it into my iPod, my iPod Nano.
For sure.
Or Shuffle.
Fuck yeah, dude. It was sick.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
It was sick as fuck, dude. Cool.
How do you
want?
Do you still have to have iTunes to put stuff on an iPod Shuffle or Nano?
I don't know these answers.
Should look into that. Update my music on my things.
Yeah, what else you got going on? What's new?
What's new? Lily's going through some growth spurts.
Yeah.
She have we discussed it on the podcast yet?
Yeah.
So babies within the first week, they aren't supposed to lose more than 10% of their body weight from when they were born.
Right.
So Lily was 9'3". After a week, she was only 8 pounds, 1.5 ounces.
She got down to 8 flat.
She got down to 8 flat shortly after that week. And so that's big no-no. And that's when they're like, okay, we got to figure out reasons and try and mitigate this because they need to gain weight.
Right.
So we've been doing they call it triple feeds. We've been pretty lackadaisy on it, but basically she feeds off me. I pump afterwards. Then we have to bottle feed her what's left over. We figured her main issue was she would just fall asleep every time she would eat.
Mm.
So when she had a bottle, she wouldn't fall asleep.
Right.
So we were kind of half doing the triple feeds, but just always giving her a bottle or 2 or 3 a day, just so we knew she was getting that amount.
Mm-hmm.
And she was also just such a lazy fucking eater.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be on there for an hour, and I think she would only get an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. Now coming up on 4 weeks, she is 8 pounds 15 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
15 and a half actually, if you count the diaper. And so in less than a week, she's gained almost 8 ounces.
Yes.
So she's doing tremendous now. So once she gets above her body weight or her birth weight, then we can stop doing that again.
That's right.
Doing the triple feeds. But we'll probably keep doing it just because it is
so much easier.
So much easier to bottle feed her. It just takes way less time. And then plus if I want to go do things or I'm going to be going back to bowling soon, so I'll have to have some milk on hand anyways for Shaun or whoever's watching her feed her.
Yep.
But it is just so convenient. I'm very happy because I've heard people say once you start bottle feeding them, then they get nipple confusion, so then they have a hard time actually breastfeeding. But she has no issues with both, which is really convenient because being able to in the middle of the night just sit up, plop her on my boob, and let her feed is just so nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
For me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's finally gaining weight.
That's good.
I'm guessing by the end of the weekend, she'll probably be above her birth weight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, that was early this morning, so that was before a feed this morning. So
Right.
she was probably 9 pounds after the feed.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Really good.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to say about that was, so she has these growing days, is what we call it, where she eats nonstop, and it doesn't matter how she eats.
She just eats all day.
Just bottle or boob, she just eats all day. And it started at a whopping 3:30 this morning. Every hour. It's been a joyful day.
Yeah.
I got no nap today, even.
Damn.
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for bed. Yeah. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
Been watching Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, that's right.
I finished everything that was on Netflix, though. So that's sad. They only had 2 seasons on there.
Makes sense.
It's such a good show. I don't know why. But if you haven't seen it, it's about crab fishermen in Alaska. And so they just follow a couple of the boats, like Caribou Cruise and whatnot, and talk about the season. But this last one was like crazy. So they show 2 different crab seasons, king crab and opilio crab. And the opilio crab season is like a lot harsher because it's in the wintertime. So that one starts in January. And this past season, they kept having these Arctic hurricanes coming through. And so they'll be like on the boat with hurricane force winds and like 40-foot waves coming. So it's just crazy to watch. So they had one boat. It didn't capsize or sink, but it got pushed to shore of one of the islands. And so it was just getting it's shit rocked on all these rocks. So they were able to rescue that crew, which was only 4 of them. And then another boat almost capsized while they were just chill. They were all like trying to hide behind one of the islands during the storm. And the guy said that the boat literally went sideways, came back up, and somehow stayed afloat.
Dang.
It was crazy. It was a crazy season to watch.
That sounds bonkers. 2018, that merchandise catalog's from. You realize that?
That was that long ago?
Yeah, dude. I had a stash back then.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, no, dude. So let me see here. So I took and. Oh man, dude. Back when we were models.
Yeah,
good
they
old days.
Loved Shaun.
Dude, how could they not?
I'm surprised you didn't become a model after that.
Same.
Oh, and this was in the douchebag era too.
Oh, dude, I was looking good.
You were looking really good.
So anyways, I'm listening to Andrew Huberman talk to I tell you, Pavel Tsatsouline about how to build strength, endurance, and flexibility. And it's a very interesting concept. It has to do with like, if you want to train strength, you should be training like 6 reps and less. And if you want to train for strength, what you should be training for, you should be training around like 75-80% of your max. And you should be doing like whatever your like max amount of reps are, you should do it for half of them. So if like you're at 80%, you could do it for 8 reps. You should be doing like 4 sets of 4 reps. And you should be taking 10-minute rests in between.
10-minute rests?
10-minute rests in between. But you can stack up to 3 exercises at a time. So like if you're doing a bench, like a bench press,
yeah,
you can do that. And then you could do like a Zercher squat. And then you could do like something else. I don't know.
Oh, so you could do other exercises in between. Oh, okay.
You know, something like a pull-up or something.
Yeah.
And then you can do 3, and essentially you want it 10 minutes before you're doing that thing again.
Okay.
So like you can do 3 things in 10 minutes.
Interesting.
And then you start the cycle back over. So it's kind of neat. But he was saying some fucking wild shit. He was talking about like there's some good exercises you should do, and like the regular flat bench is a really good exercise to do, which most people say it's not. A narrow stance sumo deadlift, like how Eddie Cohen used to deadlift.
Oh, a narrow stance sumo deadlift?
Uh-huh.
So not a conventional deadlift, but a narrow stance sumo. Okay, okay.
Have you ever watched Eddie Cohen deadlift?
No.
Okay, it's his deadlift. It makes sense because he's like, you want it to replicate how you'd pick shit up in the real world. Mm-hmm. He's like, most of the time you have your legs spread, not super wide, but spread enough, and then you're reaching down and grabbing something in the center.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, that makes a lot of sense. And his third exercise, Zercher squat. And he's like, you should be Zercher squatting double body weight.
Say what?
Bro, I was like,
Say what?
dude, when he said that, I was like, what the fuck are you saying? So I immediately message Haas and I tell him that, and he's like, bro, I would be having the Zercher 450. And I said, that's what I'm saying. I want to see it. Like, let's fucking see it. And he just put laughy faces. Bro, 450 for him? For me, it'd be 405. Like, I got a fucking Zercher 405. What are you talking about?
That's
what
ridiculous.
What are you talking about?
That's bad.
Insane, dude. And then like kettlebell stuff. But he said most of the shit you do, like it's such an interesting way of training. It makes sense. And he says stuff like you should work out more frequently, but in less
time.
Yes. So he said like it's better to work out 7 days a week, or like he said like usually it'll be like you work out 2 days, take a day off, work out 2 days, take a day off, work out 2 days, take a day off. He said it's better to do that than like to work out like, you know, for a long time 2 to 3 times a week.
That makes sense.
He also said it's best if you can practice or do things throughout the day as much as possible. So if you're someone who doesn't have to warm up and you can just put a kettlebell next to your desk or like whatever you do, and every like 10 minutes you get up and you do an exercise.
Dude, I was doing that at Gold Star for a while.
Were you?
Yeah, I was doing like, I would do air squats or lunges just like randomly throughout the day because I was just sitting in my fucking chair processing whatever at the time.
So his theory is this. The more frequency you do something, the better you become at it, the better you learn it, right? So his example was this. You can cram information for a test overnight and go in and take the test all right, right? Yeah. But you're going to forget it in a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to if you are studying like a language and you have note cards, and any downtime you have, you pull out the note cards and you work on the note cards. And so you're working on the note cards 5, 6, 7 different times throughout the day. You're actually going to know how to speak that foreign language down the road.
Yeah.
Instead of just knowing how to pass the test for one day, then forgetting it all. And so he takes the same concept into like weight training is like, or in training in general, is like the more spaced out you can have, the better your body like recognizes it and goes like, oh yeah, this is, so I thought it was interesting. It's very different. Like I've heard this concept before and it makes sense.
Yeah. I think the program I liked the most, that I saw like the most
gains, baby.
Yeah, gains from was it the vertical diets?
Yeah.
So it was like you didn't do the actual exercises for the first half of the program.
Yeah.
And then the second half it was very like every other week or something. I think you did
Was it Vertical Diets? I remember that program. What the fuck was that?
I don't remember whose it was.
Yeah, I don't think it was Vertical Diet.
But it was awesome because so for the whole first half,
Was
so
it Lily Bridges?
maybe.
Interesting.
For some reason, an S is popping in my head. Like the first or last name start with an S. I don't know why. But so yeah, so it was like all close grip bench
Yeah.
for the first half, and then
That's right.
it wasn't. Oh, it was front squats.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just building strength. Interesting. I remember that program so much. It was a good program.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good program.
Yeah. My numbers skyrocketed after that. I was still pretty early on into my lifting, so I'm sure that did help. But
Oh, dude.
I felt that was the best I've ever done at a meet.
All right. There's so much truth to that because, like, the biggest my bench was comparative to my body weight was when I was in high school and I fucked up my shoulder, so I didn't train with the barbell for like 6 months. And all I did was push-ups, extensions, push-downs, like all I did was all the auxiliaries. I didn't do the actual like movement. And I put like, I went from a 335 bench to a 365 bench. I think it was actually like 3 to 4 months. In 3 to 4 months, I did that without doing the bench once.
Yeah.
Bam. Yeah, it's cool.
Because I feel like even the second half, we barely did the actual movements.
That's possible. We should find that, dude.
Yeah, we should. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want you to see this.
Okay.
You're definitely in the military still.
Because of my stash in the lines. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, for sure I was. Yeah.
That is a weak mustache.
Oh, dude. I also had a weak stash game, period, because I couldn't grow facial hair that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That, rough. Rough, dude. Nowadays, though, different story.
It is a different story now.
Different story. Man. Look at you there, eh?
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize I was in that magazine so much, too, actually.
Check it out. Mm-hmm. Gang, gang.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, dude.
Dude, there's one picture of me driving a tractor, and I look like a literal retard.
Really?
It's very obvious I do not know how to drive a tractor.
That's so funny. Dude, I remember we went there, and they're like, "Can you drive a tractor?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "All right, go ahead. You can drive it around." I'm like, "This is the best day of my life." Oh, yeah. Dude, ain't nothing better than this thing, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten the other ones.
I know. Man, I wish I would have gotten more of these hats. The best hats in the world. Mm-hmm. Man. Oh, dude, you see this? We should have gotten this.
I know.
Dang, dude, if we were only thinking.
Yeah, well, they would have kept it for 7 years.
That's true. Dude, look at that hat. That's the hat.
That is the hat.
Fuck.
You miss that hat, don't you?
That was my favorite hat.
Anyways, once upon a time, Shaun and I were models. I should see if Emma's doing that job still.
But, dude, I just need pictures of me taken. Mm-hmm. Come on, dude.
I know.
What's she waiting at?
We should have... Were we supposed to do newborn photos?
Who cares?
Okay, cool. I mean, we got a nice camera. We could probably do them ourselves.
Fuck it.
Cool.
Oh, people do that, don't they? Mm-hmm. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. I thought about it when Matt and Caitlin were here, and I was like, damn, we could have had Caitlin just do. Okay, now we're back.
Okay. So do a little sneak peek for maybe what we'll chat about Sunday. I don't know yet. I met with the owner of Compass Property Management, Rob Majeski. Stud.
Yeah.
Big ol' stud. I will say top 3 in the top 3 best property manager I've met.
Yeah. Interesting. It does help that they only manage their own properties.
And I would say the most put together business operation I have ever seen.
Yeah. It sounded like it.
Ever.
I wish I would have gone with you.
Ever. I don't know, like personally, I don't believe I've ever seen an operation that tight and clean.
It makes me happy too that they are that way, because like just the look of the outside of their building is just very clean. And
when they put that building up, dude, I'm like, all right, who the fuck is this? And then I see their trucks around. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Dude, no. It is the most impressive operation I've ever seen. Like, I've never seen another business that put together, period. Which then makes me think it's the best property management company I've ever seen because of how put together everything is. Incredible.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool, dude. Because in my mind, I always was like, I would love to have a company like that, right? Like a First Form-esque, right?
Yeah.
Like very clean, minimalistic style, whatever, right? And I was like, how many places are like that outside of First Form? I've never even been at First Form, just from like what I've seen on the post, what I hear from everybody on the podcast, whatever, right? So I'm like, how many places are actually like that? And then for there to be one in town here,
Yeah.
bro, crazy.
That's so cool. It's so cool.
So cool.
And I mean, he met with you for a long time.
2 hours, dude. Took 2 hours out of his day.
Yeah. So it's really cool, because then now I feel like if we have any questions or like anything, like you could probably go to him.
Oh, for sure. Yep, definitely. Yeah, if I got some questions as we grow, can definitely go to him. Just a great dude. Great dude. But one of the things he talked about, he's very forward thinking. Everything he does is for the next thing. So
very like future thinking.
Yeah, very future. One of his examples was like him and his wife went and they were engineers, and he wasn't making he didn't foresee how him and his wife could prep for retirement and get a good retirement setup and still have like like little higher of a standard of living, and with just their wages, right, their income. And so he's like, if you get a decent house, you have a couple car payments, and if you want to go on some vacations and whatever, and like live life, he's like, your wages are gone. They're gone. And so he switched into being a realtor to sell real estate. But he didn't just sell real estate to sell real estate as a career. He sold real estate so that he could get into the world of developing spec homes and selling spec houses. So then he starts out selling, gets into that, and then he starts building spec houses and selling spec houses. He's used to selling houses anyway, so now he's selling the spec houses that he general contract. He was not building spec homes just to build spec homes. He was building spec homes so that he could start developing commercial property. So he would, so then after spec homes, moved into developing commercial property, which he started doing like big commercial stuff. And it was, he said, he just landed the right ones, and it was very lucrative, very good. So as he's developed, as he's developing commercial properties and stuff, this whole time he's doing all of this so he can get more multifamily properties. Everything he's doing is so he can get more multifamily properties so that he can property manage. Well, it reached, he had been watching forever, and he watched how much money was slipping through the cracks with his properties being managed by someone else. So while he's doing this, he knows, like, I'm going to have to property manage. So he did all these things to build up his portfolio big enough. Then he switched into full-time property management, and now he's just been building up. And so he's in his 6th year, and he says at the end of this year, the company will be at his, like, baseline minimal standard.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to think about that, like 6 years of operating a company, building an operating company, that company, which is like for him to reach his baseline standard. And then essentially that's like the first stage of mastery. And then he's got a 20-year time horizon on top of that with like more developments, more asset down, paying down assets, things like that. Like, he's got a 20-year plan moving forward. And so it's like, is interesting because so many times, so he did that, like that whole thing over a 15-year span before, and then 6 years for property management. So he's been doing business stuff for himself for 21 years. It's so interesting because so often people are only looking like a year or 2 or 3, right? Of like what's going on the next year or 2, or like what's going on this year, whatever. And this dude's like doing things year after year after year to roll into other things, to roll into other things, to roll into other things to get to where he wants to go. Like, people don't think about that.
What
are you doing?
I'm looking at their properties.
Oh. So, like...
Because I was curious of what buildings they owned in Eau Claire.
Oh, sure. So, doing that, like, so often people don't want to, like, they don't think about the fact of, like, doing something for the next stage or doing something for a season. And it's like doing something for a season to reach the next iteration or the next, like, level up. And to keep doing that, I think is just super cool. And it's a good lesson because he's like, although it might not be the thing you want to do, you have to crush it, and you have to keep making money to fuel what you do want.
Yeah. Which is so cool.
Yeah. And like I was talking to him about us and stuff, and he's like, long term, our goal isn't to have a big construction company. It's like more multifamily flipping development. So he's like, yeah, right now you have to do remodels. You have to do customer stuff right now. But that's just a season. Like, it doesn't have to be forever. You can keep growing, and you can grow into the next iteration.
Right.
But he's like, you got to keep guys busy. You got to keep bringing in income. You got to do these things for a season. And I think it's super cool.
It's just such a different way to think about it, and I love it.
I love it, dude.
So they own B7 Flats.
Yeah.
The brand new one next to Menominee Market. And then they're the ones that converted the old hotel to apartments as well.
I know this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And they have the 180-something units behind Festival on the west side.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that.
And then they got...
Yeah, they have a ton of them everywhere.
Yeah. Units down across from the old pawn shop and stuff. 420 Cafe and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. They got some cool shit.
Yeah, they do.
It was fun, dude. It was a blast listening to them. And damn, dude. I usually am pretty impressed by people. That is the most impressed I think I've ever been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just from hearing what you've told me, I'm also very impressed.
Yeah. Super cool, dude. People aren't willing to go through what that dude has gone through. Well, it was interesting because him and I talked about this, and it's such a valid point. So he's got friends who are doctors, lawyers, whatever, and like, man, Rob, you got it made, right? And he's like, yes, but like, think about it in this realm. Someone that's a doctor went to school for 10 to 12 years. Okay. They invested $250,000 into their education.
Yeah.
Rob's on 21 years, millions in tuition that he ain't getting back.
Nope.
And he put it in a way to us, and I'm like, because he's like, and how about you? And, because I told him how like we've lost money and stuff, and I'm like, dude, to think about that, to think we have lost over, like, our tuition we've paid in definitely over what a doctor pays in.
Yeah, for sure.
To get where we're at and where we keep going, and it's so true. Like, you pay in a hefty tuition.
Yeah, you do.
To rock business. So it was an interesting way to think about it. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, our degrees, well, your degree was obviously cheaper, but my degree was way cheaper than the things we've learned in real life.
Oh, yes.
We could have gone to a private 4-year university and still be cheaper.
Oh, big time. I could have went to school for a doctor, and it's cheaper.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, but that's the thing, right? Like, you learn these things and you do these things in life and stuff. And so that's their education, that's their tuition, that's their time in, and I had mine, Yeah. And so it's cool, man. I like that different mindset behind it. And a lot of people aren't willing to live by a high standard, hold their employees at a high standard, do things like that because it's difficult. It takes a lot out of you. You have to think about the stress of like, and we've dealt with this in business before. Like, we've got a bunch of work, but to hold a standard, you're telling me we got to get rid of these people? Fuck. How are we going to do it? I don't know. And stuff. And so it's crazy to think about. But it's what it takes to have a company that just blows your fucking socks off. It's what it takes.
Yeah. It's just been, ever since Shaun went and talked to Rob, Shaun and I have been strategizing quite a bit about like what we want to do, what our next moves will be. So yeah, it's just going to take time to get things where we want them to be, but I think we're working on a clearer picture of what we want.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Got anything else?
I don't think so. Do you?
That's it for me. I'm gonna go to bed soon.
Yeah. I think our milk leech needs more food. And then hopefully we can go to bed early.
All right, gang. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.
See ya.